So the indie developer Pixel Maniacs just sent me a free copy of one of their games, ChromaGun. So here we go. Now the first thing to say about ChromaGun is the obvious heavy inspiration from Portal. You play as a character in a testing facility filled with large white rooms and directed by a seemingly benevolent narrator. The game itself is similar to Portal in that you go into a room, solve a puzzle, and then move on to the next area. But the actual way that puzzles are solved is quite different. The object of most rooms is to lead these small droids onto buttons which open doors. The main way this is done is through color. Walls and droids of the same color are attracted to each other like magnets. Usually solving a puzzle involves changing the color of the floor, the walls, or even the droids themselves to properly align them or lead them around obstacles. Overall, I had fun with the game. It kept me interested the entire time through. It ran well, and I didn't encounter any bugs the entire time I was playing. However, there are a few problems I have with it. I didn't find the game to be very challenging. About half of the puzzles I went through seemed really straightforward. Toward the end of the game, the complexity was ramped up a bit, requiring players to think outside the box. Sometimes this involved blocking droids with other droids, or mixing colors in a specific way, or even time puzzles, though I found that solving the more difficult puzzles often became a matter of trial and error. Out of the dozens of puzzles in the game, only 2 or 3 of them really forced me to think, but I will admit that I did break down at one point and look at a walkthrough, after spending about 20 minutes on a single puzzle. There were times when I felt like I cheated some puzzles though. I could see what the developer wanted me to do, but I found a different or easier way of doing it. Now I'm not sure if that's an oversight on the developer's part, or if the puzzles are intentionally designed to have multiple ways to complete them. I also found the narrator's sense of humor to be a bit obnoxious. With GLaDOS from Portal, a lot of the humor came from her inability to really understand emotion or the human psyche. It's funny because when she mocks or insults the player, it's often done in such a way that might seem logical to say with no regard for emotion. In ChromaGun, the narrator is a human and has human emotions, so while it tries to go for a similar sense of humor, it just doesn't really work. That being said, there were a few times when the narrator's lines did get me to crack a smile. There is one other small thing that bugged me. I wish that the ChromaGun itself rotated or changed in appearance in some noticeable way when you changed color. You won't believe how many times I shot the wrong color thinking it was red because red is on top of the gun. I think it would be helpful to give players that extra visual cue of what color they had selected, by simply rotating the gun so that the selected color was on top. The game took me about 3 hours to complete, which is pretty short for a $13 game. But I'm not going to say it's not worth it. Honestly though, I'd probably wait for a Steam sale. Still, I enjoyed ChromaGun and would recommend it to people who like puzzle games. Again, I really would like to thank Pixel Maniacs for sending me their game. And if you're interested, go check out ChromaGun on Steam. I'll put a link in the description. I'm Cothrix, and you have a wonderful day.